Greetings and welcome to my dear Virgo. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the channel. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. This is a reading for the energy of Virgo in the month of February 2021. I shall be conducting a 9-card spread that is essentially the Great Mirror. And the Great Mirror is a tool devised in order to see the apparent energies between you and a significant other. This can involve love, this can involve friendship, projects, your career, anything that has to do with significance. Please take only what you will. My readings are from the light in order to shine through the darkness that which we seek. The Great Mirror is also used in order to see the apparent karmas that may exist between you and a significant other. There are many types of karmas, but they're mainly actions that are neither dark nor light, neither good nor bad. They just may be there. It's your job to discern if this resonates for you or not. Please use your best discretion and be open as well. I do appreciate your openness and your honesty. Thank you. So the sixth house is open. This is a house of devotion, dedication, method, praxis, as well as purity. Sort of being a curator, if you will, of certain flows of information that stem from the sea of spirituality, the great binary sea of spirituality. Okay, I'm trying to see through that veil, trying to make a method or to see very clearly with detail. That is through the sixth house. We'll go ahead and get started now. I'm working with a deck from 1890. It's a 130-year-old deck, I believe. 131-year-old deck. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for tuning in. There is a mode of action here that has to do with self-empowerment, as well as walking the path of the Fool into greatness, growth, as well as the ability to foresee and to oversee certain things that have to do with your path, especially when it comes to a path of bringing in that which you so desire. This comes in a place of calamity, in a place of difficulty, trying to understand your place in, say, false or perhaps pretentious modes of being that are not necessarily for you. This could do with world climates, this can do with world systems, or perhaps anything of the mind if it's not the outer world, the inner world, and trying to understand how a certain mode of power is being taken away from you. And this path is leading you to sort of balance out or see in a different way. There's something about you also that is containing a secret project or a secret hand that is also your hidden resource, and it's best to keep that resource or that project, that time or that energy to yourself, and to let it gestate or perhaps to let it grow on its own without the interference of others. There also is something about the envisionment, like I said, foreseeing, or perhaps trying to see how your path or perhaps your reality can be molded by your idealizations, These are going to help in terms of that. Also, you're holding that hidden resource, which will be very beneficial for you in the future when you actually do decide to make a very steady offer, or a steady beginning, a steady new beginning in terms of commitments, in terms of projects, or in terms of how you use your resources. Okay. Apologies for the shift of light. I had to fix my lighting stand. Some of the challenges that come around this sort of humbling, if you will, you are brought to not your knees, but you are brought to a lesson. There is a maturation process that has to do with essentially the way to lighten things up. You are possibly concerned, or you have no fears when it comes to, which is the opposite of being concerned, I know. When it comes to really sort of enlightening things with your mind is very strong right now, and there's something about the way you see truth that is fundamentally tied to inner knowing as well as intuition. But it is through the fire, that the fire of the mind, a mind that is on fire, that burns through, and you can see some of the modes that you have been using in the past that have not been as productive. Um, there also is something of this sense of power through the hidden Three of Pentacles uh, that stems from your need to be individualist in some sort of way. This also could reflect the other person's energy. There could be some sort of abdication or a change of power, or perhaps power is being gifted to you or this person by hidden hands, by ways of doing things that are based on idealized versions of reality. But yeah, I see a shifting of power also, shifting of power. So immediately, I mean, we see already the negotiation of power, authority being very strong this month. Um, those are just actions, some ways of karma. Uh, I think you have your hand on it, and you have a certain method already when it comes to how to negotiate with this other person. Okay, so that was a force that was outside. We have two aces here on the conscious level. Excuse me. Right. So there is a possibility here of pure individuation, finding truths, coming up with truths, repressed modes of possibly disappointment on your end from the other party. At the same time, you may be seen as someone who's giving truth. It's sort of a duality here. Not to say that you're duplicitous in any way. There is a complex nature of the aces, from the rods to the swords here. This also could be a holdback of a type of information, or a holdback of a type of interaction on two different levels, on the heart level as well as on the intellectual level or on the communicative level. Difficulty in truly sharing in that respect. But yet you are someone who is seen as trying to give the truth, or trying to give the truth in some sort of way, an intellectualized way. There is a delay here, a delay of, excuse me, of new beginnings, a delay of also um, of really bringing in a sense of an idea that is trying to express itself. A delay from one to the other. I believe it's definitely one that is based a delay that you are on, that is not able to produce itself totally towards this person's energy. There also is the great Aquarian sort of ordeal that is occurring between both of you, the star here and the Vestal Virgin, or um, the feminine archetype, essentially pouring out the cup of love or the cup of Christ, whatever, what have you. What I'm seeing here is essentially a difficulty in truly bringing in and lighting the way of this mode of detachment, or perhaps mode of humanitarian or ideal, mode of unconditionality. Okay, unconditionality, um, and perhaps there's something about you that also wants to come from this place of forgiveness, to come from this place of also um, trying to find a balance, trying to find a way to heal the situation. There's an element of healing here that has to do with repressed modes, repressed fire that needs to express itself. This can be very explosive if you do not express it. It's Jupiterian in nature. Also, Aquarian. Aquarian truth is very strong here. Truth of the highest degree, highest order. And Aquarius is the most evolved out of all the air signs in terms of its move towards dissolution of all ideas and into the purification of truth, into the uniqueness of truths that can be held momentarily and then eventually dropped because of their double-sided nature. Okay. Um, what I'm seeing here also is a possibility of there's a mirror, uh, difficulty in producing this truth. They're also withholding something that you want to bring to them. Something. It's a game of hide and seek. Unfortunately, that is having to do with oscillations of the soul moving from one place to another. Difficulty also you producing a type of effect when it comes to the soul's need to stay still. There's a lot of tension within the deeper modes of operation that exist between you and this person. However, there also is a rite of passage. There also is some sort of distant hope that this connection would work out. Okay, in terms of financial reasonability, uh, or practicality, or in terms of commitments that of a romantic nature or of a creative nature, in terms of friendship. There is a great deal of waves to be sort of negotiated before coming out to the great sea. So yeah, what I'm seeing here is difficulty, um, difficulty because there is this sort of very aggressive nature that has to do with really coming into power on their end, coming into a type of power. Um, I think both of you are learning from this, and that you both can take sort of friendly stance out of this, convivial stance. Both of you want to make peace or forgive in some sort of way. Requires a great deal of energy to do this, but it is still a possibility. And there also is a lot of shifts going on in terms of worldly demeanor. Paradigms as well as viewpoints, perspectives that are shifting on their end as they seek for peace, as they seek for something to learn from the connection. They are learning more about the general world shift in general. Okay. Um, excuse me. You are also doing this, but also embodying more instead of the energy of Aquarius, which can be old and outdated, or perhaps trying to reform itself, trying to become new again. There is the energy of Gemini, which is more the energy of learning, tutelage, as well as self mastery. Okay, but still, this feeling of either regret or some sort of downtrodden feeling of that which has occurred, that which has spilt over. It becomes a motif, and if we do the addition here, There's also an avoidant or perhaps a releasing, a letting go aspect that you tend to embrace from this situation as well. Perhaps the passions that existed between you are no longer there, but then there is an element of truth through the Aquarian way, okay, the middle way, but also the high way, that could really elucidate some sort of forgiveness process or healing process within whatever has been occurring here, okay? Excuse me. If this is a past situation, it could be that fears are being negotiated on their end to make an offer of either forgiveness or an offer of time, but it would be of a friendly nature or perhaps one that is not escalated beyond the realm of the amateur. Okay. In terms of advice, yeah, there is a great need for patience within this connection. Please don't be angry. If you are, there are ways to vent this anger once again through self mastery as well as the ability to see this as a rite of passage or some sort of learning experience as they are. You can learn from them, but it might be a very painful experience to do so. There also is a possibility that tensions would arise and then there would be a falling out, but then still some sort of learning from this connection that would help you to understand once again the Aquarian ideal. Okay, that is what I'm seeing, and or hopefully that resonated. And if it didn't, that's fine. I do welcome you back to future readings. Thank you. Bye bye.